This is my home, KwaZulu-Natal, and it's always great to be back here to speak to my family here in KwaZulu-Natal. It's this province that shaped my career. I started my politics right here in this city, so it is a special place. But it's also where I, like you, have all been able to have a front row seat, watching the ANC destroy our jobs, destroy our economy, steal our money, make sure our children don't have a future, switch off the water, uvala igas, uvala imsebenzi, uvala ikhaya, uvala imali. They know only one thing. They own only one thing. Conchoncha. That's what they know. They know how to steal, and they keep stealing from us. So it's fitting from this province that I come today with a message of hope. A message of hope for our people here in KwaZulu-Natal, but a message of hope to every South African across the country who is so desperate for change. So I'm here to tell you that in the next election, we can make history. You and me and every Democrat around the country can make history. For the last 30 years, every election has been won by the ANC. Every election we've known that the ANC was going to win. Every time we went to go and vote, we knew the ANC was going to win, we just didn't know by how much. But let me tell you, Democrats, those days are gone. They are gone. The ANC's corruption and their misrule has reduced that once mighty party to a shadow of its former self. And in the end, you and I know that politics comes down to one thing, and that's cold, hard numbers. Numbers matter in politics. So let's look at what the numbers tell us about the fall of the ANC. In the local government elections, the ANC lost its majority for the first time. Let's hear an amen for that. Amen. And its support plummeted to around 46%. But it didn't stop falling there. It's carried on falling for the last few years. And over the past 2 weeks, we've seen two very important polls that have come out in South Africa. One from the Brenthurst Foundation and one from the Social Research Foundation. Now these are not the DA's, this is not the DA's pamphlet or the DA's propaganda office. These are independent polling operations. And they tell us one thing, the ANC is falling even further into the ground. They show that the party that once ruled this country with an iron fist will struggle to even get 40% in the next election. And nowhere is it more visible than right here in KwaZulu-Natal. The people of KwaZulu-Natal don't need polls to know that the ANC is disintegrating. They've seen it with their own eyes in this province, as the ANC gets crushed in by-elections and continues to get chased out of communities. To paraphrase Fikile Mbalula, the ANC is now the biggest bunch of losers in South Africa. And it is in this very moment that they're disintegrating that a new hope is rising up out of the ground here in KwaZulu-Natal. And you can feel this new hope amidst the rolling hills of Umgeni. It's a new hope that's spread all the way to Richards Bay. There's new hope in the streets of Durban and in the villages around Ulundi. And this new hope started when the people of Umgeni elected a new mayor, the first DA mayor in KwaZulu-Natal in 2021. And this mayor is also the DA's premier candidate, Chris Pappas. Viva Chris Pappas, viva! Tata Chris Pappas, tata! Since his election, and people around the province and around the country have found a new sense of hope as they watched Chris and his team clean up Umgeni municipality. They took it from being a debt-ridden municipality, and they took it out and they made it debt-free. And he is igniting the economy there, and he's getting people into jobs, and he's cleaning up and delivering services. Their hope has also grown as they've seen the DA and the IFP work together for service delivery in this province. And it swelled even further when a DA deputy mayor, Christo, was elected to be the deputy mayor in Umhlatuze municipality. But the big hope that's come out of all of this, that is in August, we formed the multi-party charter in South Africa. The charter has united 8 different political parties, including the DA and the IFP, around a common vision and a set of principles for the future. And that hope created by the charter is rippling across every place in South Africa. And the hope embodied in that charter is the same vision that carried the Springboks to victory in the World Championships. And that vision is that we are indeed stronger together. We are stronger. We are stronger. We are stronger. But there's another lesson that we must learn from Amaboko Boko. And that lesson is that this country can only succeed if we get rid of the ANC. The truth is that South Africa won the Rugby World Cup for a 4th successive time, precisely because the ANC were not able to interfere. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what the Springbok team would have looked like if cadre deployment by Cyril Ramaphosa was allowed into that team? You would have had Des van Rooyen, Umachele Koko, Brian in that team. The Springbok victory shows that if we work together and we rid ourselves of the curse that is the ANC, we can win. By working together in the multi-party charter to defeat the ANC, we can build a Springbok economy. By working in the charter to defeat the ANC, we can build a Springbok country, united by our diversity and by our shared pursuit of excellence. So, for the first time in our democratic history, the charter gives us an opportunity to elect a new government that can rescue South Africa. What does a new government need to do? It needs to... I can't hear you at the back. No, it's still too... I don't even think they can hear you down at City Hall. Never mind them tuba tuba. What do we need to do? We need to rescue South Africa. And at the same time, polls show that there's a collapse for the ANC. They show that our party and the parties in the charter are growing. The polls show that the DA's national percent is between 25 and 31%. And that's incredible growth since the 2019 election. And that's thanks to your hard work here in KwaZulu-Natal and around the country. But the picture's even more exciting here in KwaZulu-Natal. So I'm going to tell you all a secret. You promise you won't tell anybody else. You promise you're not going to leave here and tell anybody else. It's a secret between us, okay? You heard it here first. I can today reveal that the DA's latest internal polling shows us that in the last week, the multi-party charter crossed the magic majority threshold here in KwaZulu-Natal. The charter is now polling at 50% in KwaZulu-Natal and the ANC at 36%. And this means that we're on track, Democrats. It means that we're on track to take government next year, not only at a national level, but in a coalition here in KwaZulu-Natal. Isn't that great? The DA in KwaZulu-Natal has pioneered the wonderful message that, one, plus 1 equals 1. 1 equals. So let's do the maths together on the polling. In the DA now in this province, we're on 21%, the IFP is on 24%, and the rest of the charter partners are collectively on 5%. So do the maths with me. 21 plus 24 plus 5 equals 50. Now that's what winning looks like. There's a majority. There's something to go out and fight for every single day. And it's this historic moment that sees the charter polling at this level also has profound national implications. People who register and vote in this province, in this election, will not only help us liberate KwaZulu-Natal, they will also help defeat the ANC nationally. With the DA on track to obtain an even bigger majority in the Western Cape, and combined with a surge of support for the Charter in KwaZulu-Natal, as well as Gauteng, we are positioned to defeat the ANC nationally. Now, if we win KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, and the Western Cape, we can put up a insurmountable roadblock to stop the ANC getting a majority at a national level. So let's get that roadblock going. Let's make sure we stop them getting a majority. Liberating these 3 provinces means that 2/3 of the economy and 2/3 of the population will be in opposition-controlled hands. So let's do the maths one more time. Let's test the maths on this side. The Western Cape plus Gauteng plus KwaZulu-Natal equals a new government. Let's do it. Western Cape plus Gauteng plus KwaZulu-Natal equals a new government. And what is that new government going to do? It's going to rescue South Africa. It's going to rescue it. Our country is on the line in the next election. But the new hope that is offered by our charter means that we've never had a better opportunity to rescue South Africa. So we must stop thinking about the charter as an opposition project and start looking at it as a government in waiting. A government in waiting. What is the DA? We are a government in waiting. And instead of Cyril Ramaphosa's cabinet full of all those skoros and rogues and crooks and people that have stolen our money, we're going to have a new cabinet that's going to get our families working again, that's going to make sure our children have a better future, that's going to make sure you get a job, that makes sure the money is spent on you and not on the politicians. That's what we need in South Africa. So in keeping with the spirit of Stronger Together, these 8 parties represent the broad spectrum in South African society, and it will provide a diverse and experienced cabinet. And the DA is deeply committed to serving as an anchor tenant, because like any shopping centre, you need a strong anchor tenant, not only to attract other shops, but also to bring the customers. So you can't build a shopping centre unless you have an Ackermans, or you've got a Pep store, or a Pick n Pay, or a Checkers, or a Boxer cash and carry. You need a strong anchor tenant. And we stand ready to play our part in bringing votes and providing stability to a coalition government. And we'll be able to bring our track record of government from places like the Western Cape, but also in places like Umgeni, under Mayor Chris Papas, that shows people that we can get things done. We will deliver, and we will rescue South Africa. I trust you too, and I know you're going to make it all the way to registration day, and I know that you're going to make it all the way to election day, and I know, I can see from that smile that you're not 1 + 1, I can see you 1 + 100 with that smile. We're going to get rid of cadre deployment and make sure everyone gets a fair chance for a job. We're going to make sure that people have access to services. We're going to make sure that you get treated like human beings in your clinics. You don't go there with a serious sickness and they give you one amapanado and say, go home. Gosh, then. We're going to make sure that your children have a better education. We're going to put the criminals in jail. We're not going to put them in government. And we're going to make sure we change this country forever. While the ANC's terminal decline has opened the door for the DA, it has also opened the door for the EFF. They've also opened the door for the EFF and the other small and yana greedy parties that want to take your vote and then sell it to the ANC. They want to take your vote and go to the ANC, we'll give you our vote and you must give us money here in the back pocket. And we've already seen how that greedy alliance of corruption and small parties has destroyed eThekwini. We saw the chaos this week in the council in eThekwini, where the people are fighting and pushing and throwing things. And while they're fighting and pushing and throwing things, our people don't have work, they don't have water, they don't have jobs, they don't have houses, they don't have electricity, and they don't have an opportunity. They care only about themselves. That's all they care about. But we care about the people, because the Blue Party, the DA party, is for all the people in South Africa. This coalition of corruption has not only collapsed eThekwini, it's collapsed Joburg as well. It's collapsed Joburg. And we need to make sure we take it out of government. We also need to make sure that we're able to bring DA mayors, DA councillors into key areas. We need to make sure that we take this country forward under a strong DA government. But now, the best way to make all of this happen, because we don't want it just to be a dream. We don't want it just to be a poopa. We want it to become a reality. And how do we make it a reality? The single best way to make it a reality and prevent a nightmare is to register to vote. Register to vote. Is everybody in this hall registered? Is everybody in this hall registered? Can anybody raise their hand if they are registered? That's what I like to see. But now we've got to go from here and make it 1 + 1 = win. So a vote for the DA is a vote for a government that cares for you. A vote for the DA is a vote for good governance, for service delivery and against corruption. And a vote for the DA is a vote against greedy small parties that will throw away your vote to the ANC, just like they did here in Durban. A strong DA will rescue South Africa, and a strong DA will keep the EFF out. But we need your vote. On the 18th and 19th of November, what's the date? 18th and 19th of November, every single voting station in the country will be open for you to go and register and check. Or you can go to our website. What is the website? check.da.org.za. Check. That's it. So, if you want a new provincial government, register to get one. If you want a new national government, register to get one. If you want to prevent a coalition of corruption and the doomsday scenario, register. Democrats, friends, compatriots, special new friends, 2024 is the moment that we've all been waiting for many, many years. It's our opportunity to rescue our country, and it's your opportunity to play a role in making history here in KwaZulu-Natal, and it's your way of making history in the country. So get out there, register, make sure that you vote for the DA, and let's make our country the place that we know it can be. A place where our children are safe, a place where our children are learning, a place where our people have jobs and prosperity, a place where people get decent health care, a place where a government works for you and not for the politicians. And I promise you, I promise you, if you vote for the DA, we will change your life. We will change the country. We will make it better, and together we will be stronger. Viva DA, viva! Pambili, DA, Pambili! Tata, I'm a Democrat, tata!
Tata.
Viva!
Viva!